Okay, guys, I had to make this debate of the week because of what I just found out. People are not happy about this show. Now, I said it was a damn good show. I never said it was great. I said most of the show people were going to like, and others I didn't agree with. And I'm still standing by it. But now hearing the opinions of everybody else, where people say either one, AEW will never be as good as WWE. This shows you how much they're a piece of garbage. You shouldn't have invested in them. 2, that they were completely reckless in what they did. And now, after having to look at some of the stuff that people were talking about, like what happened with Matt Hardy, which I did say that was a damn bad fall. I didn't elaborate on it. Admittedly, I'm not going to lie. As I've been saying in the last couple of my videos, I have not been myself. Things have not been good for me. So my perception of things has been off. I'm not going to lie about that. And maybe I should be more critical of the product when I did my review. But I felt that at the time, the review wasn't 100% bad. I tried to have a fair view on things. That's how I've always been. But I'm not going to say that I'm 100% myself. I'm not. And I've been saying it for quite a while now. There's certain things that'll be coming up on this channel that I will be talking about. Like, as I said in that particular video, my teeth are coming up. Several things have been coming up on top of that. So, I haven't been myself. I won't lie about that. But now seeing that a lot of people are flat out pissed at AEW and Tony Khan, for 1, being reckless, for 2, leaving a show so long. And I even said it myself in the very opening. It is a lot longer what we normally see. And I just pretty much said I kind of put past that because of the show. And most of the show wasn't 100% bad. There were things in there that I knew many people were not going to enjoy. Flat out. Britt Baker versus Big Swole. The 2 matches that opened the show, which I did say did not need to be there. If they had to do Battle Royal, why didn't they just put it on the opening of their kickoff show? Noticing how Kenny Omega was not selling, I didn't remember even saying it or not. Or thinking it. I actually didn't really think it. I should have noticed when he was walking away, he should have just limped away. He didn't. He didn't sell. And they didn't really hype up how Kenny was having a conflict with Hangman Page. Because he nailed Hangman Page. And I even wrote in my own notes, who's turning first? Was it going to be Hangman Page or was it going to be Kenny? And it's Kenny whose turn. But admittedly, now that I looked over it, because I had to see the video again, see videos of what was going on, because there are places you can review things. So I did. I can understand why people are saying that he didn't sell his knee, he walked away, he just seemed to be pissed. I have this feeling like something went on in the back that many people were not happy about. And how this show went down, I think Kenny just expressed it. I'm not saying he's a great actor, he's not. He ain't a great actor, he sucks. But I think something's going on. Something must have happened. And not saying that that's what affected the show. The show was just not 100% good. It wasn't. I still think it was an okay show. And I stand by what I said in my review that is still up right now. I'm not pulling it down. You will like most of it. Not all of it. Most of it you'll like. And I didn't even talk about what happened with, because the show was so long, I didn't even remember about what happened with Orange Cassidy and Y2J's Mimosa Mayhem match. It wasn't 100% bad. It wasn't. Y2J put over the Orange Cassidy. But for what's going on in this show that has now pissed everyone off, that basically got glazed over. 100%. That match, if it was the best match of the night, no one's going to care, because they just glazed over that match because of all that happened with Matt Hardy. The amount of time the show was, that was nearly 7.5 hours. That Kenny didn't sell. And he should have sold the injury more, especially once he walked away from it, instead of him just limping away, having someone take him away. There was so much that happened that pissed everyone off. The 8-man tag with the Dark Order and the Nightmare family was not needed there. And I even said it didn't need to be there. This show pissed off a lot of people. I'm honest here. It has pissed people off. You look at JD, he is freaking livid. He is disappointed in AEW and Tony Khan. He's just disappointed. It is not, from what I can tell, from Alex, I have not checked yet. I did look about 2 or 3 minutes into his video, him talking about people going to chew out AEW and they're going to say it's the worst show. Look, it's a weak show. He even said it himself. But that's as far as I went. I didn't want to get too askew. Even with JD, I didn't want to get skewed. Wrestling in podcasts, I didn't want to get into it. I have not seen Andre's video yet. And what he thought of this yet. And I'm sure he's not going to be too happy about it. But when it comes down to this huge situation, have I changed my point of view on this? I'm going to say it like this. Did they copy the WWE in their booking? Yes. Did they endanger Matt Hardy? Yes. Did Kenny Omega not even want to sell? And it could be something in the back that's going on. Something that happened that could, I'm not saying it was, could have made him the way he was. Maybe. Was he just a bad actor? Hell yes, he was. This is the way it is right now. I still think the show, the pay-per-view itself, most of it, if you exclude the ones that should not have been there, Thunder Rosa versus Shida was a damn good match. When it came to FTR versus Hangman Page and Kenny, if you take away the acting, it was a damn good match. It was. When it came to the Battle Royal, taking away what happened with Darby Allin and the body bag and the tax, if there were real tax, that part I think was going too far. But having Lance Archer as the new #1 contender, for me personally, I did say it in my video because he jobbed Cody. Just like when it came to Brody Lee, they lost a lot of credibility. You don't do that to your big men. So, seeing that he is going to be pushed into the main event, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if they're going to do a storyline with him and Jon Moxley. I don't know. This just didn't come out right. A lot of people are mad. And even if everything generally went okay to good, the anger and rage of so many people who really do want AEW to go under because they think WWE is the best. 2, the ones who are now following and believe in AEW, they're either disappointed, 1, or enraged they went this far 2, and was acting like WWE. And 3rd and final, and this is what's going to be the most important thing here, guys. What is going to happen after this pay-per-view on this coming Dynamite? Whatever they scheduled already, either they're going to have to reschedule it and change it around, or they're going to go as is to follow what just had happened. And there's a very good possibility, even if the show was perfect and it was great, the fans are still going to probably shit on it because of how bad they feel about All Out. All Out is going to hurt the next couple of Dynamites. And probably even hurt more than a few dark episodes as well. There is no way that this is not going to make the fan base so pissed. They're not going to care even if the shows are actually good from now on. And even next pay-per-view is amazing. They're not going to forget this. And honestly, I'm not saying they should forget it. But let's put this in some level of perspective here. Are we dealing with a guy who's like Vince McMahon and a Tony Khan? No. Are we dealing with 4 guys in Cody, the Bucks, and Kenny who are wrestlers who've never been bookers generally? Do we believe they know how they're doing their job right? No, they're still learning. I'm not trying to defend AEW. But I'm only telling you this. You're dealing with an owner who has not been in the business for decades. And you're dealing with wrestlers who have never really generally booked. Maybe they've done a couple of booking for their own matches or a couple other people. But running a company, no. This is not to justify it. They screwed up on this pay-per-view. Even though I gave it a good rating and that you could enjoy at least most of it, and you can check my video. I said there's going to be stuff you're not going to like, but most of it you will probably like. Still, you pissed off the fan base, AEW, by one, having your shows way too long. Even I acknowledged that it was too long, but I had to slide it because the show was at least decently good. You put Matt in a position that was dangerous. No matter if he signed off on it or that it was good, doing high spots all the time doesn't always work. Even I say this. I don't always agree with it myself. And then wanting to get everyone on the show when it should be only for Dynamite. The first two matches should have been Dynamite. Big Swole versus Britt Baker shouldn't have been here. It should have been on Dynamite. Even though it was very interesting to see that Britt Baker was willing to put a syringe into a leg. And I'm not showing that image. I don't need to. It wasn't needed on the pay-per-view. The 8-man tag didn't need to be there. That is what you should have left for Dynamite. I even said that. They didn't need it. So they're going to have to eat a lot of crap here, guys. Now the question is going to be, will they bounce back? They probably will. But with the fan base already being pissed as hell how WWE was treating their people. And let me crank this back. Let me put this in true perspective here. And I know one of my subscribers, when he did a video, but not video, you see I'm still tired. A lot that's been going on. He did a comment saying, I hope that AEW does not work with NWA. And I'm sure it's because of the situation. I still say and I still stick by it. Yes. AEW screwed up here. They did. I'll acknowledge it. But I still want to see NWA work with AEW because they are on TNT and they're getting exposure. I still want Nick Aldis on there. I still want Aaron Stevens on there. I would like Thunder Rosa to come back. They need this so they, and I say this for not AEW, but NWA. They're not on YouTube. They have no network. Billy Corgan is sponsoring this generally himself. He cannot keep using his own money to run the company. He needs to eventually have investors. He needs to have a network. And he needs to do this. And it's not the point if the storylines are great or if the wrestling you don't like it. NWA needs to be seen. Yes. It needs to be seen. And is AEW screwed up right now? They're going to, like I said, they're going to be eating a lot of crap. But they need it. And if you're going to put this in perspective, wrestling sucks right now. No general fans except in Japan. And AEW. WWE is not doing it. Impact is not doing it. As far as I know, ROH is barely even doing it, if it's even doing it at all. There's not one company that is functioning normally. AEW is one of the few that is having real fans, and even though the fans were almost dead, and I didn't really remember that when I was doing the review, they got fans. They're one of the few that's functioning normally. So even though they need to be crapped on, don't destroy them because you think, well, they'll never be like WWE. This is not about being like WWE. This is about at least being something different. With a company that's not even a year old. And I'm not saying they should be exempt for their stupid booking. Most of that pay-per-view was bad booking. The other one was an okay pay-per-view. But still, this is just my point of view. Leave some comments below. Tell me how you guys feel. I want to hear it. And I may just use the title, Did AEW Implode Themselves? That might be the best title for this. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.